I grew up in Campbellsville, and my dad and I we'd do a lot of hunting, um, and I always loved to fish. Never had a boat. I mean, we really wasn't that wealthy. We did a lot of bank fishing, and I just really always got a lot of therapy from fishing. You could just get away and take your mind off what's going on. Even as a kid, I mean, it was just relaxing to me. So it's something that I did throughout, my childhood, and then as I grew up, joined the military, and everywhere I was lucky enough to be stationed, um, I fished all the time. Met some awesome fishermen actually that could probably outfish me any day of the week. Um, but I've always had, when it comes to the baits, I've just always had this thing for the old school lures. I remember looking in my stepdad's tackle box, and it was some of the old Devil's Horse, the old chuggers. He's got a fish on. Keep that line tight. Is it a good one?
Not really.
What'd you catch it on?
Your bait. Creek candy. The pink creek candy. Top of the head. Boy, he wasn't getting off. All right, people. Pink is where it's at.
Nice.
Like that?
I did.
So, I was always intrigued. I just loved the old baits, and it's like, back in the day, that's all they had. It was no different for them to, purchase those as people do today, going and buying the hottest thing that's out this week, whatever the case may be. So really, I guess to get to the how I just started making them was, I found an old topwater bait, and and it was beat up pretty bad, and I was like, I think I can make one of those. So I did, and I was actually pretty shocked on how decent it came out. So that just really, I guess, planted the seed, if you will, and it just, I went from that to, I got me a lathe, and I taught myself how to work a lathe and make some good top waters. Sort of come up with my own little head design, if you will, on various poppers, and um, then I got into the crankbaits, and they're a little more time consuming, but I don't know. I mean, just check this out. There's just something about coming to a lake and fishing and catching fish and good fish with a handmade wooden product. I mean, you can't find handmade wooden lures without paying crazy amount of money. Everything we get, listen, it is what it is. It's plastic, and it's probably made overseas with some kind of factory paint job on it. So that's really how it started. And then, I'd give some to my friends, and they'd fish with them. And well, then I got into the airbrushing, which that was probably the most time-consuming learning curve for me. It just took a lot of practice, and I'm still learning. I'm not a professional. However, the baits are looking pretty decent. Get a lot of compliments on them, but I'm never one to feel like I'm totally comfortable and it's as good as I want to get, because I want to keep making them better and better and better. Had a lot of good feedback on them, and I'd really love to see this creek candy lure thing really grow.